Hello, I'm Iris Matthews, a romance author. Thanks for joining me again for another excerpt reading from Most Eligible Billionaire, Annika Martin's self-published novel. We're headed back into chapter 12, starting on page 111. He leads the way to a wide open space full of architectural models. Desks and cubicles line the perimeter. "We have a few exciting projects you should be in on," he says. We end up at a table displaying a 5x5 block area covered with tiny buildings and roads and cards and tiny green trees and people. He puts Smuckers down. "I thought architects only made these on TV. I mean, don't you have computers for this nowadays?" Smuckers takes this very inopportune opportunity to jump up and grab at a bit of fabric that's dangling off the side. The entire model jerks, and a soda bottle at one end dumps all over a corner of it. Henry's on it instantly, sopping it up. Jumping into chapter 13, Henry has a couple of junior guys bring the model into a small side room and set it on a table. He dismisses them, shakes off his beautiful suit jacket, and rolls up his sleeves. "This'll just take a minute." "Do you need it for a presentation or something?" "No, it just needs to be fixed," he mumbles, conducting an intensive inspection of the thing. I stand on the other side of the table conducting my own intensive inspection of the tiny paper trees. Or at least that's the effect I'm going for while conducting an intensive inspection of his very large and muscular forearms, which are perfect in every way, right down to his golden skin and the sparse smattering of hair. He has hands you can respect, hands that would feel nice against your cheek. I swallow and force my gaze away to the built-in shelving loaded with crafter supplies like modeling clay and paper and squares of balsa wood and cutters of every kind and glue and paint. "Are you sure this whole business isn't a front for guys who are closet crafters?" I ask. He's pulling down green cardboard squares and craft paper and tubes of glue. "This'll just take a minute." He pauses and frowns at the thing. The sweet little dent appears between his eyes. I definitely like the dent. Seeming lost in thought, he starts unclasping his watch and pulls it off with rough efficiency, setting it aside. It's a hot thing he just did. I remind myself that he's just another handsome rich guy with every reason to bring me down. He even told me so. He attempts to glue a tiny curlicue to the tree trunk by way of tweezers, a toothpick, and a dot of glue. Man fingers are good for a lot of things. What they are not good for, tiny gluing work. He completely smears the trunk with glue, which he tries to get off with a Q-tip. He just ends up leaving fur on the trunk. Crap! He tosses it away. "You need help?" "I got it. I used to do a lot of this as a boy. Brett and me both. We'd spend hours doing these models." "When was the last time?" "I got this. It's like riding a bike." "Except you have large hands now," I say, and not in any way like I think it's hot. "It's too bad you don't have somebody with you who has way more recent experience gluing tiny things to tiny surfaces with her slim, womanly hands," I say. "It's really a shame that there isn't anybody like that here." He starts on another, messes it up. "Dude, let me help." I tie Smuckers to a chair. "You think you're an expert because of your Etsy dog collar store? This is a little more intricate." "I make jewelry of all kinds, not just dog stuff," I tell him. "We know," he says. "Come on, you make the trunks and shave the branch curlies and I'll do the gluing. And please, your technique with the toothpick." He cuts another trunk and slides it to me. "Oh, that's more efficient." Was that a compliment? I brush it off because the air is humming between us. Gluing stuff is my jam, baby. I blow air on it. We collaborate on a tiny stop sign. It's nice. There's something about making things side by side that only crafty girls know about. A kind of sweet, silent bonding that other people don't experience. Henry and I are achieving this bond. I like it in spite of myself, or in spite of himself. I glue a tiny curlicue to a tiny tree, feeling his eyes on me. Thanks for joining me on this passage reading. We saw a little bit of what is coming for objective correlatives, and we're seeing our protagonists starting to let down their guards a little bit. See you next time!